Hi, and welcome to Mark and Rush's podcast. And as you might guess, I'm Mark. Today we're going to kill two birds with one stone and discuss the secret of uncovering honesty, while at the same time also discuss the truth about how Valentine's Day is celebrated in America. The video is long, but I've done my best to keep it interesting. First of all, for a Russian to begin to understand this video, you need to know that in America there is no Men's Day, and also no 8th of March, or Women's Day. We do have Valentine's Day, but this is absolutely Women's Day. Therefore, women have a special day in the U.S., and men have none. Please don't think about Mother's Day and Father's Day. These are only for mothers and fathers. And if you do count them, then the score is still women 2, men 1. I'm not sure if the secret I'm about to tell you is okay to tell, or whether I'll be in some trouble with American guys after I tell you. But I do want you to know, because if I can help you in a relationship or friendship at some point in life, then it's a good thing. As I'm sure you know, it's next to impossible sometimes to know if someone is honest or a liar. Here's a little tip. If someone says, "Trust me," then don't. Trust me on this one. The easiest way to find out how trustworthy an American man is to ask him about his feelings concerning Valentine's Day. If he goes on and on about how much he loves the holiday, then he is a major liar. Just quickly excuse yourself, then run like the wind away from him. If he says that he hates the holiday, then believe me, you will hear the truth in his voice and the depth of that hate. Then trust him in all situations. Hell, trust him with your grandmother's money. Remember this always, and let's repeat it again, just to drive it into our memory. I love Valentine's Day. Huge liar. I hate Valentine's Day. A saint of a man. You got that? Any questions? Like so many rules, there are always some exceptions. Here I'll tell you them. If this American guy is with his wife or girlfriend when you ask him this question, he really has to lie. I mean, why should he suffer and possibly lose his wife or girlfriend just for answering your questions? If you are a girl and you ask this question, he might lie and say that he likes the holiday just to score some points with you. He's a guy, and he can't help the way he behaves. As I mentioned earlier, guys hate the holiday because they are getting screwed in the respect that they don't get their own holiday, and Valentine's Day is not at all for the guy. The guys get zip. The older a guy gets, the more he dislikes this holiday. If it weren't for this holiday, there wouldn't be any angry old guys in America. In a minute, I'll get into the mechanics of this holiday step by step as it applies to guys. American men believe in being romantic, but when they are cheated year after year, they get pissed off. When these guys were young and in school, the holiday was a lot of fun. Boys and girls both got cards for each other and treated each other special on this day. Lots of Valentine's cards, some nice parties, and perhaps dances, and the general good feeling of loving and being loved. I don't know of any schoolboys who resent this holiday, but as soon as they leave school, everything changes. Or perhaps it's better to say that once they get involved with girlfriends after they leave school, everything changes. You know, real men don't like flowers. That may come as a shock to you girls. But we cannot even begin to understand the fascination the girls have for them. We pay good money for them, and they are quite dead within a week. I mean, how would you feel about a guy who bought you a little puppy even though he knew it had a disease and would only live a week? What's the difference? I mean, at least with the puppy, you could play with it for a week before it died. Normally, these dozen roses would set us back about $35. Of course, right around Valentine's Day, the price skyrockets. up to about $100 for the same dozen roses. The only thing that we dislike more than flowers is the feeling that we have when we know that we are getting ripped off. I mean, for $100 you should at least be able to eat the things. Girls, I'm giving you a lot of valuable insight into how guys think. The ones you know won't tell you these things. They're too busy trying to score points with you. A guy thinks that the wasted $100 spent on the flowers could have bought a 1 terabyte external hard drive for his computer and have been a lot more useful and certainly would last more than a week. Guys can be rather practical. Well, the damage is already done, so now it's time to give the girl the nice roses that you got. Her reaction, although completely foreign to you, almost makes it worthwhile. Almost. If she would take the flowers, put them in a vase now, and allow them to start their death march in another room where you didn't have to see them, things could potentially turn out okay. But of course this won't happen. One of the first things that she does is to give the flowers a good sniff. Again, if she would now move them to their final home, then everything would be okay. But guys know what will usually happen next. Now she's got to shove this bunch of flowers in the guy's face for him to smell them. Bear in mind that he didn't ask for this, and no true man would ever have this desire. But here these things are in his face now, and if he intends to continue breathing, he's got to inhale this strong, overwhelming odor. Look, ladies, we don't like the smell of flowers, and we really don't care to smell these flowers. Listen, if he bought you a new shirt, would you make him smell it? Of course not. But the shirt would probably smell even better than the flowers. Sniffing those flowers will probably even wreck our sense of smell for the rest of the day, so that we won't even be able to enjoy the taste of our food. Listen, if those flowers smelt like meat roasting on the barbecue, then I would probably work in a flower shop. I mean, you couldn't keep me away from those flowers. But they don't. How about the smell of freshly brewed coffee? If you wake up to this smell, you know what I mean. I'm not talking about Nescafe or any of that instant crap. I mean the real deal. If guys knew that heaven smelled like freshly brewed coffee, we would be much better people here on earth. Again, flowers don't even come close to this. Nice fresh beer right from the tap also smells great, as long as you are the one drinking it. And I don't mean the smell of the stale beer the next day. Beer 1, flowers 0. Nearly everything smells better than flowers to a guy, that is. By the way, this isn't smelling due to pleasure. It would be better to say that it is more of a testing thing. Still, better than the flowers. After taking a deep whiff of the flowers that you shoved in our faces, we only wish that there had been a way to be prepared for this without getting you angry, that is. We can't just hold our breath either, because you ladies actually listened to make sure that we had a good sniff. The guy, although he's already bought the flowers, is still not done with his Valentine's Day purchases. He should also get his loved one a nice traditional heart-shaped box of chocolates. These can run anywhere from $10 to $50 or more. Look, guys, all ladies know the difference between a $10 box of chocolates and a $50 box of chocolates. They both send the wrong message. The $10 box says, "You are not worth much to me." And the $50 box says that you are trying too hard and that each year in the future will be a disappointment. There is nowhere to go but down from here. Needless to say, the smart guy buys something in the middle, which shows that he cares about the girl, but he has also left room to grow in the future. The guy doesn't mind spending the money on the chocolates. After all, he knows that his loved one will share some of these with him. But something to be noticed here, however. The girl doesn't ask him to smell the chocolates, even though they smell a hell of a lot better than the flowers. Go figure. Girls, guys don't like cards and actually find them rather stupid. I mean, you've already spent a lot of time shopping for the other things. Why do we need to spend more time shopping for a card? A girl spends a lot of time selecting a card. They'll look at each and every one in order to find just the right message. For a girl to spend 30 minutes in front of a rack of cards is not unusual. Everything must be just right, you know. You've seen them there before, looking and then shaking their heads, until they finally smile when they found just the perfect combination of picture and message. Remember, guys don't like cards, and we like to limit our exposure to them. We run in the store and buy the biggest card we can find, provided that there are hearts and or roses on it, and it says I love you on it also. We choose the biggest card so that we can't be accused of spending too little. Most guys can get this card within seconds, wasting very little of their precious time card shopping. Well, you spent a lot of time and effort into choosing just the right card for your man. Now you watch for his reaction when he reads it. His reaction will always be what you had hoped for, but he's faking. When a guy reads the verses in a card, what he sees is blah, 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 blah. That is, unless you actually wrote the verses, then he actually reads it, and the response that you see is real. Think about this situation. The ladies may spend hours trying to choose just the right card with the right verse, but you certainly didn't write the card. It may have been some overweight guy with pimples from Cleveland that actually wrote it. If you want us to like it, write it yourself. Why do we need to keep these stupid things around for years? We already read them. Do you think that we're going to read it over and over? Not. We have to keep them stuck on our fridge as if they are family heirlooms. Actually, when they were still kids, American guys loved cards. Valentine cards from classmates were cute, but not mushy. Our favorite cards were those from grandparents because these would almost always have money in it. We would just open the card and shake out the money. The card was nothing more than just a money holder. You know, grandparents are very wise, and I think that we can all learn from them. Don't you? Okay, all of these things I've spoken about so far have happened in just the first couple of hours of the day. It might seem as if there are hundreds of more things to be done this day, but this isn't true. Valentine's Day is not an official holiday in America. Students go to school and adults go to work, just like any other working day. So we have a bit of a reprieve until we finish our work for the day. That evening, the man may take his loved one to a nice restaurant for a romantic candlelit dinner. Listen, guys like this just as much as girls, and we never grudge spending money on fine food. So ladies, your man is truly happy with the meal. You know, because the holiday ends with a fine dinner, this helps to cover the fact that we really don't enjoy any other aspect of the holiday. I realize that telling the truth from an American guy perspective about this holiday has probably killed the romantic feeling that you have for this holiday. You might even be tempted to say, just because this unromantic guy feels this way, my man is different. You would be wrong, though. These are universal truths. And your guys might have to act different about the holiday, but all guys pretty much feel the same way about this holiday, in America anyhow. One way to make this holiday special to a guy might be for him to propose to his loved one on this day. How he feels about it later will depend upon her answer, but you've got to give him credit for trying to improve the situation. Yeah. So I told you about what is expected of the man on Valentine's Day. Now I should tell you what the girl will often give. A card. That's right. One stupid card that guys don't even want. Good deal, huh? Look, guys don't hate the concept of Valentine's Day. We just don't like the way that it is turned into a day for us guys to spend lots of money day. At least when we don't have any holiday directed at us. By the way, in case you hadn't noticed, I can't stand Valentine's Day. Now to talk about some of the new vocabulary in this podcast. The expression to kill two birds with one stone means to take care of two situations at one time. To score points means to earn some respect. To get zip means to get nothing. Or you could say zippo, nada. To set you back means to cost you. For example, if it set you back $30, it means it cost you $30. To get ripped off, well, that means to be cheated. The real deal means the real thing. In this case, I talked about coffee. A family heirloom is something in a family given from father to son or mother to daughter for generations. So in other words, it's some object, something that has been handed down from generation to generation. Mushy is kind of a slang term for how kids view romance. A kid might see some romantic film and say, parts of the film were good, but the rest of it was kind of mushy. It just means kind of romantic. And to propose means to ask a woman to marry you. Just another expression for that is just to pop the question. Well, I want to thank you for listening to the end of this podcast. It was a really long one, but that's what it took in order to fully explain this holiday. And even now, when I look back, I still don't think I explained it well enough, but I tried. Well, until I make another podcast, and then I hope that you listen to that one. Until that time, goodbye.